Hey guys, we're back again with some more Bantercast. I'm here with 40 and Zodi, and this is the monthly or semi-monthly podcast that we do for Defu JP, where we talk about content that we did like prior month, if whatever we didn't catch up to, and for this month, and all the stuff, and talk about like new characters and fights and cool, interesting stuff that they tease us with. But Zodi, go ahead and introduce yourself for anyone who doesn't know you at this
Hello,
point.
I am. Well, yes. Hello, I am Zodiacal Void. I have my own YouTube channel. I do Defu JP runs mostly. I'm glad to be here today.
We're here at 40 for anyone who doesn't know you somehow.
What's up, guys? This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan, and I'm glad to be back for some Bantercast with my bros Zodi and Blobs. We're gonna talk everything that is recent, I believe, on JP that just came out or is about to come out is usually what we cover. So
Yeah, I think the last thing that we talked about like last month was like both Year and the twins with the sixth man
and
well that
Quinna.
oh yeah the well we can well did you have both of you guys complete the six man, right? That doozy of a
Yeah.
fight.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that
quite a
took
few
me
tries.
a while to complete.
That would have been my pick for the hardest fight of the last month, but then another one at least dethroned it for me.
Yeah, that fight
So
was annoying just because
Oh yeah.
for anyone who doesn't know, that fight you have to like kill the bosses in a certain order, and the way to remove the FR gauge, because it's one of those fights again where if the FR gauge goes off, they become essentially immortal because they
Yep.
heal 80% of their HP based on the damage you deal to them. So you're just doing a little tickling them.
Yeah, that was the fight with the stupid shield too, right? Like they had
Yep.
like a
Yeah.
bunch of shield. They had like triple shields, and it was like, oh my god, this is. And also, there was, I think there was massive brave reduction. Like you,
Oh
but there was
yeah.
ways around it. But it was so annoying. I'm like, dude, this is annoying. Like, but arguably the hardest six man to date is that one.
Yeah, and I guess the easy way to get out of it was someone showed me that if you use Kane and basically buffed him up and got him all buffed up with his C65, his BT, and just sent him up in the air, his follow-ups were enough to basically shave off all the brave shields during the BT phases. So for me, I used like Aerith BT and just tried to get as much AoE damage as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That was enough.
that's what I did too.
Yeah, that was enough to kind of like shave up all the shields. And if that wasn't bad enough, you had to kill them in certain order. You had to kill the big CPU ball first. If you didn't do that, the golem would never die. It would stay at 1% and never die. And then this little small ball was just there to just annoy you. But that little golem thing, but the big golem is the annoying part of the fight, no matter what. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was.
the main gimmick was that it wanted you to use like certain elements
Yep.
for the fight to be able to deal with those individual shields, because if you didn't do that, they would basically take no damage or they would just be absorbing it.
Yeah, it was annoying.
And the way to remove their far gauge was, hey, they had to have a buff, and you had to have a debuff, and you had to remove that debuff with Balthier. So
Yeah, they were
that was
selling
annoying.
Balthier. Yeah, they were trying to really sell that, sell Balthier. It was like, oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I had him prior, but I know not a lot of people might have wanted to pull for him because his kid is situational. I think he's decent, but I understand those who, he's not necessary at all.
Mhm.
But like, they really tried to hard sell him. And same with Lon and Rain. I think their rework was fairly solid, but just the fact that they really like, oh, here's these elements you got to use. Oh, guess
Yep.
who does that? I understand they cater, stages for the unit because they're the featured unit for a reason. You don't want a situation where it's Zidane rework and he can't break Sephiroth.
Yeah.
You don't want something like that, but at the same time, you don't want to make it, way too, narrow where only like a few handful of units can deal with stuff. I mean, I don't know. That's my thought, at least. I'm just glad that I was able to beat that, stage on time, but I'm not gonna think poorly of those who might not be able to beat it on release on global or whatnot. Because
Right.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
definitely one of the hardest we've ever had.
I have a question. Would 7 work for that? Because she has 3 of the 5 elements that Lon and Rain have. Or no?
Depends
I
on
think I
certain
seen some.
portions of the fight.
Here, let me check.
Okay.
I think I did
Yeah.
see somebody in one of the groups I'm a part of use 7 there, so I'm gonna.
Was it Indolent? Because Indolent loves 7.
No, it wasn't. Believe it or not, but it
Oh.
was. Let me see.
Because what elements does 7 have again?
She has fire, ice, and thunder, which
Fire,
are
ice,
which are
thunder.
5 of the which are 3 of the 5 elements that Lon and Rain have. I was like, I wonder if she could. I'm pretty sure she could work for some of that fight.
Okay. First, she ODS. Ice, second. Third one, no, because it needs to be non-water and earth.
Oh, that's annoying.
So basically, well, I mean, I guess you would just have to swap her out for someone else that can deal with those
Yeah.
elements. So that's the beauty of having
Okay.
the 6-man, but yeah.
That's annoying.
Hopefully, but yeah, if you do use 7, she has to, like, keep up with the DPS check with the shaving.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, what was the other thing I was gonna say about this annoying fight? I lost track of what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I can't find that clear. I'm sorry. The person was, if you ever heard of her, she's on Lost server, Shiro. She likes to use 7 a lot, so
Yeah, I know who
thought
that
I
is.
seen a clear from her. Yeah, I thought I seen her do a clear, but I guess she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use a weird gimmick where I had to save Tifa at the very last, like I had to set her up in the prior turns before their FR gauge turbocharged to max, and then basically had to just swap her out, leave Quina in with Quina's 5 BT turn action, because as we know, Quina's BT is pretty OP and very, very good for making it so that you have maximum HP damage to bypass some of these bad gimmicks. And basically, once like my FR was at 99, like cap, I swapped back in Tifa, nuked the 2 big bosses with Tifa's FR because it would do like 75 million damage, and basically at that point should be able to one-shot them, hopefully. And then you just clean up the last little tiny ball with whatever FR you have left. But
Yes, always remember to clean your. No, I'm not gonna say that. It's a family stream.
one last thing to note. Okay, I remember. If you do pull for Lon and Rain, just remember they have a lot of elements, and one common thing they like to do, the devs like to do, is lock out characters if they do certain elements, and in the recent fights they have been doing that again lately, and very recently. So if they don't like your elements, well, too bad, you're going to get punished for it. So keep that in mind with Lon and Rain. They do a lot of elements, and if you do one of the elements that the devs don't want you to use, they will just do a counter and remove all your buffs. So keep that in mind when pulling for some of these characters, especially with multi-element characters.
No, agreed. Because I haven't been able to use them since they got their FR on that stage. Because I bet somebody's done a clear on one of the most recent one. I haven't done tier 15. I'm not trying to get ahead, but I haven't done tier. I can't speak. Tier 15, so they might be useful there. But yeah, so far I haven't been able to get any usage other than that stage out of my, investing the resources in them. So definitely be wary.
But besides that, we have Core, BT, and Noctis FR, which is, for anyone who likes 15, this is a very themed banner and very nice, and both of them, despite Core not getting a cooler FR board rework, it's still pretty good.
It's a really good banner, I think it is.
Yeah. Noctis is definitely the prize there. Well, you can argue both are the prizes.
They're great together. I mean, the
Yeah.
only downside to Noctis is that if you want the follow up, it's tied to his BT effect. But once you get both of them going, like fully
Yeah.
kitted, they're amazing. They're really good together. Yeah, I think it's a good banner overall.
You might think, oh, Core like having any like additional big numbers to with his FR is kind of like lackluster. But it's like, well, yeah, that's true. But then if you have to have his BT to make basically his FR rework because
Right.
I mean, yeah, his BT needs an extra setup to make sure that
It
you
does.
pass it on his buffs to everyone, to the rest of the party, so that you can get those like big ol' triple follow-ups on when the boss does all targets everyone.
Well, I mean, even if he didn't get a good, a better FR board, he was already really good. And I mean, Tifa got FR Echo, and honestly, her FR Echo upgrades was very minor, but she was already pretty broken as a single target damage dealer. So Core was already great. The FR board was whatever. It was like, it was just like, icing on top. But the BT was like, wow, he just got so much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great banner. I really think this banner has a lot of good value.
Yeah, the main thing was Core with his rework and BT make sure that he caps easier and does like max damage. And he has the FR Echo, which means he can contribute extra to the party, making sure that your FR stays at the max turn, like you get the most out of your FR turns. But
right.
Yeah. But Noctis rework is something else. They like touch everything in part of his kit.
Yeah, especially the LD.
Yes.
that LD was embarrassing for a while. I mean, not the buff, the damage. I'm like, really? 1 HP attack, really?
So, I mean, to give you this to run down a Noctis rework, every single skill basically will do his follow up. Every single attack does like several dumps. Even his follow up does a lot of dumps. And on top of his BT, which does even way more, less like 3 or 4 dumps.
Yep.
And also has like HP cap up, which every BT should at this point have, which makes it even better. So it doesn't just touch the brave side of it; it touches the HP damage side, which is arguably the most important part of the BT or nowadays. He basically just hits ridiculously hard, even though that is single target most of the time. It's still good. I mean, like, he's not going to be like Tifa levels of damage, because let's face it, no one's going to hit Tifa levels of power anyway.
No.
Noctis, this enables your team to just keep going and have free turns. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and with Noctis' new upgrades, he can make Jessie work. Yay!
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Because Jessie sucks.
Yeah.
I know. I tried to say she was kind of underrated, but yeah, she does suck, unfortunately. I was like, this turn manipulation's good. Nah, it sucks.
Yeah.
So both of you guys got like Core's BT and Noctis FR, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I just don't have Noctis's BT yet, but I do have his FR and Core's BT.
Yeah, it took me a little while to get Noctis's to get enough materials to BT plus him because I wanted to use his BT plus to use that follow up. But yeah, the fight itself. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I had the same thing happen with me with Core. I was out of materials for a while, so I held off on doing that fight until I got enough. So I feel you there about the Noctis. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, the fight itself wasn't too bad. Again, if you have Core or Noctis in this fight, I mean, the fight's going to go from, like, pretty hard to much, much more reasonable. Mainly because, this is one of those fights, again, where if you let their FR go up you ain't going to kill them or remove their condition, unless you use the specified FR. But the FR conditions is, hey, if you have Core already, just use his FR condition. And I'm pretty sure that the FR condition is still pretty easy to clear because You just have to have do melee, and make sure that you deal. Your brave is dealing 9,999, which is pretty easy for characters like Tifa, who hits really hard. So it's pretty accessible there. But the main thing about this fight is you cannot use any character that uses non-ice or non-earth, or else the boss will counter and remove your buffs. So again, whenever we said Lana Wayne gets shut out, this is one of those fights.
I do retract one of my comments from earlier. They are synergy on that fight.
Actually,
Keep
no, I
that in
take that
mind.
back. They become Imperial immune, so they absorb non-elements of those types. So I think Lana Wayne should be somewhat fine, as long as you deal, they are doing one of those elements. Not sure how it works.
I tried the fight with them, and after a while, it wasn't respawning its sword, so it was a single target boss. So I wouldn't recommend him at all. I bet somebody out there has done a clear with that, and kudos to them. I'm not trying to sound like a smart aleck, but like kudos to you. I'm glad if you were able to get through with it with Lana Rain. I just don't recommend him personally for that fight. There's much easier options, like you said, Tifa. So
just
don't suffer. Don't use Lana Rain there.
Yeah, just make sure to kill the sword. Don't let it get a turn if the sword is still up, because if the sword is still up, it will remove all your buffs and make your life harder. Besides that, once it's removed, you can just do your normal shenanigans of nuke the boss until it's dead. But yeah, Noctis and Korra, I recommend getting them.
They're both really good.
Yeah, both very flashy FRs, both very strong kits. Both have very good upgrades. But after that, we have Shiva Spiritus, which was a doozy of a fight.
Oh my god, this fight! It was another. It was annoying.
Yeah, it gives you. Yeah, it's not okay. It's not as annoying as Shiva Lufinia Plus, like annoyance, but it's annoying to the fact. Although that fight was annoying and difficult for the sake of being difficult and annoying, this is just annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, this fight heavily regarded was. Well, go ahead before I go.
Oh no. Oh, I was saying, how many retries did you have to do?
Oh god, I didn't go sleep until like 6 a.m. until I beat this fight.
I'm glad you beat it the day one. I had major skill issues. It took me at least 4 or 5 days to beat the thing. Because I was too stubborn not to look up guides, so you could blame myself there for doing that. I'm like, I could figure this out. And it's like, no. I probably should look at what other people were using.
Okay, so I'll give props to Took, who was able to beat it within like the first hour. His clear was, thank God that Took, sped his fight up with, just fast forwarded and added cool music. But yeah, it goes to show that if you get the BT and the FR for that fight, it becomes a cakewalk. If you don't, if you only have the FR, it becomes hard. And if you don't have Edgar, FR, or BT, you might as well just come back later once you get Edgar, FR, because you have to do the most roundabout, cheesy gimmick with the fight, and it becomes supremely hard. I'm like, at that point, just do the grind normally and come back later.
Didn't this fight require? Yeah, you needed to have Omni Imperil to damage. So if you didn't have Edgar, you needed to run a combination of Hope Call, Fran or Irvine, and then also what was it? Orin or something like that. But you needed to time it. You needed to time it. It was so specific. If you don't have Edgar, it becomes much harder. And yeah, it was definitely trying to sell Edgar to you, which Edgar's upgrade is actually not bad. I actually think it's pretty good. But they were really trying to sell it. Oh yeah, it is. And also that debuff that he gets from his BT effect is actually pretty darn good.
So did you get his BT?
I did.
What about you, Zodi?
I sadly didn't. I wanted it really bad, but no, I just got his FR, so I might token that later, but I just said that about Noctis, so I gotta see who the next unit is first before I go tokening any of those.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to get BT. So, Ford, can you give us like a little bit of rundown how your impressions of his BT kit is?
Of who? Of Edgar?
Yes.
Hang on. Let me pull up data on it because I don't memorize what they do. One
So,
second.
the only thing I remember is
I'm the
that
same way, no
his
worries.
trap is 1 turn. When it goes off, it deals like a butt ton of like HP dumps.
Isn't it like
Yeah.
12?
Yeah, it does a lot.
It does a lot of damage. It resets break status, and so it pretty much will break them. It also ignores defense, and it does 6 HP attacks. Has all that good stuff. Max HP damage cap up by 200%. It's good. It's really, really good.
So when
But
it
the
goes
BT
off,
effect
it's
itself,
gonna hurt.
it's gonna hurt a lot. The BT effect itself, I mean, it's pretty generic. Brave damage, brave damage up, cap up, HP damage up, cap up. It's generic, but I mean, it definitely that trap, that debuff going off is a ton of damage, especially when you have an FR gauge up that can actually play off of it because it's off turn damage. It's pretty darn good. It's too bad that it only lasts for 1 turn, and once it triggers, it's gone. Because that would have been amazing if you could keep it on for a little bit longer or somehow extend the duration of the debuff. But it's good. It's good. I actually have a lot of fun with Edgar. He's a lot of fun to use. And it's good because he wasn't that great for a while. Even with his LD, he was not that good.
Yeah, that costume though as well.
Oh, that costume was great. His Garad costume. Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone,
But I like him.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know how annoying the Spiritist fight is, I'll elaborate on this a little bit. So at the beginning of the fight, it may not seem like it's that bad, but the bosses immediately open up with petrify.
Oh yeah.
They might either petrify 2 characters, or they might get lucky and you might petrify the same character, which is the best case scenario, or you get very lucky and the same character dodges twice somehow.
Yep.
And then you get off scot-free. If they petrify your your FR charger, or any of your setup characters like Aerith, you basically have to reset and pray to God if they don't target Aerith or any of your setup characters, because man, that is annoying. Or even Edgar. Yeah. But once you get past that, it's like, oh, it's not so bad. You start noticing that, hey, I have Edgar up to his LD kit. It's like, oh, it's not too bad. I'm getting by the aura. I'm pushing down the aura to like manageable levels to where I can they still take a butt ton of damage and whatnot, and then until they get to half point. The halfway point is when they become extremely annoying, because their aura conditioned to reduce it has another layer, which becomes a doozy. Basically, you have to have the triple Imperial condition from Edgar up, or you do what 40 said, which was you have to have those 3 specific characters do their like weapon Imperial. You have to have range, magic, and melee Imperial up. If you do not, their auras stay at red, and if their auras are at red, they will one-shot the party, and then you have to reset. So yeah, and not only that, the attack has to ignore their defense. So yeah,
Edgar.
Exactly.
They were selling Edgar.
They're selling Edgar heavily.
Wait, there's a unit with... Is there a unit that gives defense ignore aura? Doesn't Locke do that?
Locke. Yeah,
Oh, you could use Locke for this.
Yeah. The thing is,
I think Stimpy did that, right?
You can also use Jagron here too, but he's you have to carry him most of the fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His damage is incredibly outdated at this point.
Yeah,
I did that for a couple runs, and I got petrified at the final 30%, and it messed up my FR gauge. So I got to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, Jagron, I can't carry you through this.
Could you theoretically? So if you have the Omni Imperial for damage, could you theoretically run like Setzer and get away with that for the defense ignore, or does it have to specifically be defense ignore?
It has to
Because I'm thinking like,
specifically be defense ignore.
oh, that's annoying. That's so annoying. Because I was like, I'm trying to think of like other ways to go around this fight for like when global gets it.
Core is very useful for this fight. The only reason why rainbow damage is sort of okay for this is because you still want to reduce their aura, the boss's aura, down to like anything beyond not red.
Yeah.
But yeah. Aerith Core are very, very, very good for this fight. Edgar, if you want to at least have his FR for this fight. FR to remove the FR condition, because if you don't have the FR condition up, if their FR's condition is up, then good luck trying to kill them. You ain't gonna kill them. And also you're gonna be tight on turns.
Right.
But also another key thing about this fight is towards the very end of the fight, if you notice that the bosses aren't dying, it's because one of your characters' overhead buffs is above 5. You have to reduce that to below 5 with like Core, Zack, Quina. I think the way to get around that is if you're in a summon phase, it won't increase their aura back up, because if your overhead buff is above 5, their aura will keep on gaining a stack and stay at red. So for Core
that's
it's
how
easy.
I eventually beat it. I had to spam like all Edgar's LDs in a row. Well, the remaining 3 I had, and that's how I beat it. But it's punishing if you have an overhead above 5 and there's no summon phase up, no BT phase up. Good luck.
Yeah, Core is easy to remove his overhead buffs because you just have to use his Reboot Gale, and then done. But the other characters, you have to save your summon phase for the very, very end, which could be very, very difficult, because that summon phase can be a lifesaver to do that extra 9 million HP damage to both of them, which, even though in the grand scheme of things at this point it's a little bit, it's still a lot. So good luck to you guys for that fight. It's annoying, and if you see me in some people's streams, I immediately afterwards, after I beat it, I said, "Yep, this is an annoying fight. Good luck. Use the YouTube videos that people made, and don't underestimate not pulling for the characters and try to skip it. I mean, skip it if you want to, but if you want to be a completionist, come back to it later, or come back when you have Edgar FR if you want it to be manageable."
Or hope the next global first, if they get one, is somebody with defense ignore for the party, kind of like Locke.
Yeah.
And is up to date by the time that stage rolls around.
Yeah. Beyond that, we have the tutorial character that dies in the first 5 minutes of FF12, and the character that's on 40 stream right now doing his FR, Mr. Rex. Okay.
Mr. Galbanda Lilies.
Yeah. He's a boring character.
Well, I mean, he's a what?
He's pretty boring because you only see him 5 minutes of the game, and 5 minutes of total playtime. Even when you get past like farther in the game, you don't see him. Even in cutscenes or like flashbacks. He's just,
no, you see him once in a flashback,
and then that's it.
He goes to the hospital to see him, and he's out of it. He's dying.
Yeah, Rex is just silent, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe he made it through that castle in tutorial." It's like, nope, Vaughn was just yeah.
You can thank his confession though for what happened to Bosch, how he got imprisoned. He confessed he saw him kill the king. Well.
But
him,
then,
he, in quotations.
Rex was just used as an instrument for Vaughn to blame Bosch in the story. By the way, sorry for spoiling it, but that game's been up for
an older game.
Over a decade, so Anyway, don't worry about it. It's like Rex is not that big of a plot device for FF12, but besides that, his kid is good.
It is. That's the thing. What is it with these? Random NPCs
NPC characters are good.
They're good. He's actually really good. I'm like, man, like like they show us this character, we're like, who the hell is that? Or what? Really? He's the next character? And then they end up being really good. Like, who was like that?
Yeah.
Ruben Conte had a lot more screen time than Rex did.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
but he's darn good.
Yeah. For anyone who
Who else
doesn't-
was like that?
Okay, so
I know people said Cisne, but I'd argue Cisne at least had some more relevance.
Yeah,
than
if you
Bob.
played Crisis Core, she's a very
Yeah.
beloved character.
And not only that, that's a cameo appearance because she's from Last Order or whatever it was called, the old flip phone game.
Oh God.
She was one of the main protagonists of that, so she was sort of cameoing in
Yeah.
his game. So yeah, you can't blame her for having minimal screen time because everyone's always like, "Oh, she's insignificant." She's a cameo character. This isn't her game.
Yep.
That's the whole point to say, "Oh, I remember her from that game." She's not there to steal Zach's screen time. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know his kit, so Rex is a tank. Sort of a tank. Just think of him like a thunder version of Snow. He doesn't taunt, so that's why I say he's sort of a tank. Actually, go ahead. You can probably explain
He's
his
like
kit better
aloof
than him.
without the counter.
Yeah.
Now you describe things fine, but he will legit take damage for your party member. He'll jump in front of them, and he'll take the damage for them. So he's kind of maybe it's a callback to the one scene where he said, "I'll take care of the guards." One of the only few lines of dialogue he had. But yeah, he'll jump in front of the team member and take damage, and when he takes damage or brave damage, the counter above his head will build up to 5 stacks, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've only used him in the one fight he came out in. I haven't done tier 15 yet, so I haven't used him more than once.
So yeah, it's basically a thunder version of Snow. He has good auras to prevent the party from taking damage, HP damage. He thunder repels, he thunder enchants the party more than Snow does, unless you have his BT, I think. His BT allows him to do his follow-up twice. And besides that...
His preemptive strike.
Yeah. And then I think he has the Bosch effect where if he takes AoE damage, the party will take AoE damage. He absorbs it all. He takes it for himself. But yeah, this was the fight where if you used non-thunder and water, bosses will counter and remove all your buffs.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah,
fight was easy though.
Yeah,
compared to the last one.
Breather fight.
It was.
So if you don't want to pull for Rex, that's okay because I think Global has one specific character that I think a lot of people pull for, which is I forgot the name of her. The FF9.
Garnet?
Yeah, Garnet. Garnet is featured in this banner as well. Her BT reruns again for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, no, I found that weird they did her this soon. I understand she covers the element, but it seems really soon because she was at the beginning of the whole Echo era.
Mm-hmm. She's
and
back
we already
in.
have her reran.
Yeah, so Garnet has her at bar boards already at this point, so you can technically skip on Rex if you already have Garnet fully built because Garnet will fulfill the conditions. And you could just basically just nuke the fight and then be done with it. Like all the other fights.
Also works too.
Yeah.
I know everyone's gonna have Garnet though, but Dash does work.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually promote Dash positively for once, but if you have Garnet, user, don't bother with Dash. But he helps you survive in place of like Rex's ability, so he does have that going. But yeah.
But yeah, final verdict for Rex. I built him. I got his at BT+. He's good. If you want to skip him, you can. But I would say, don't sleep on him because he's a tank, and as we know, tanks are pretty are one of the few type of archetypes of characters where they will more than likely save your team or enable you to save a lot of resources because they can do things that other parties can't. Like Rubicante, he can solo some fights, but I'm not sure if Rex will enable your party to. But we'll find out in the next couple events if he can.
Oh, another thing of note about Rex's kit, I don't if they do like AoE versions of like party dispels, this will be a moot point. But he will take, like, say in this fight I used Varus, and she has wind element tied to her LD and EX. He actually took the dispel from what she would have got from the boss. So do keep that in mind. He'll jump in place and have his buffs dispelled instead of the other party members.
And
if it targets one specifically.
And he only has one buff to worry about, so that's, I guess, a good thing.
No, exactly. Even if it dispels that one buff, and you have your BT aura up, and maybe even, like, say, a Gladio Call or something, he'll survive. He'll be fine. He won't unless it's a lethal attack, of course, and never mind what I said. But yeah, he does have that going for him. So, just something of note I thought I'd mention.
And then we come up to the last event, which I think 40's doing the event Transcendence 15 right now, so
I don't know what this reckoning does. All I know is that they have to do something, or else you can't kill them, kind of a deal.
Okay, so I did the fight, and I can explain. And and Zodi's in the same boat with you, 40. So so the two side gates are pretty much free. They want you to use Rem and Vaughn, because they're the two featured characters on the banner. Besides that, Rem FR is nice. It's easy conditions. If you pair Rem up with Aerith FR charges the FR gauge by 145%. So yeah, big charge, which is insane. She'll just like turn swap them with anyone you choose. So it's her skill 2, but it does a lot of damage. On top of that, Rem also got very nice upgrades here. I'll just go over a little bit, but the big upgrades is that her LD follow-up does 4 dumps, so you have a way to deal pretty nice solid damage. Even though that she wasn't meant to be a DPS character, it's just a way for her to keep up with current content and damage checks. Besides that, the fight itself, as of now recording this on the 21st of October, the fight came out today. The fight is currently bugged, I think, where the boss's HP, if you don't push him down at the same exact time, below 59%, one of them will stay at 59%. I don't know how you're supposed to reduce it down beyond 59%, but if that happens, you think you have to just reset and then try to push them at the same time. I think the gimmick of this fight is you have to push the boss's HP down at the same time, so that you can remove this this big HP gravity aura that they put on them, which will reduce your HP, your max HP by 80 to 90%. So beyond that, you want to just make sure the bosses don't get a turn by just keep on turn swapping with Rem to your party. So even though Vaughn is featured, he may not be the best suited character because he does a lot of single target damage, and you want to kind of push their HP down at the same time.
Wait, let me interrupt you. You said don't let him get a turn? You can use Jesse.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I was actually planning on using her there myself.
So
Rem plus Jesse. If you have
there you go.
Effect,
there you go,
Jesse
Rem.
can use their EX, and she puts herself behind your party, and she goes again. So there you go, hidden strat.
I'll use Jesse. Okay. Anyway, sorry, Borf. I had to when you said that. Don't use turns. I'm like, oh wow, Jesse can actually work for this well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally, content suited to her kit.
So this is also one of the rare occasions where if their FR gauge does go up, they're not immortal. It's just that it's a bit of it's just a bit more annoying, mainly because that aura that reduces your HP by a butt ton is going to be up there. So yeah, it's going to be permanently on there for 10 actions or however long that their FR is up, and also it will remove all your frame buffs. But hopefully at that point, the boss's or HP is at a very, very low point to where you just have to deal enough damage to just clean up the fight. And your buffs every kind of buff you grant yourself, it only lasts for 1 turn. So make sure you know your party's kits well, because make sure to put on the one that gives that specific character or your party a lot of like brave and HP damage. So keep that in mind.
Hold up. I have another idea. Do you think Vivi would work well for here too? Because he gold frames himself.
Gold frame should be safe, yes.
Yeah, because they can't dispel the gold frames, so maybe Vivi's also hit. I doubt it, but it's worth a suggestion.
This fight, I didn't see anything about it being locking out any kind of elements, so potentially yes, it's gonna be fine. But also one thing is there's sort of a small damage check. If you don't push their HP below 70%, but by the time the turn count gets to 21, I don't know why 21, but they will put on 10 turn confused debuff on your entire party. So essentially, you do a wipe. Or unless somehow you prevent debuffs, but I'm not sure if they bypass debuff evasion. I mean, I want to put it against them to bypass turn evasion. That anyway. But yeah, to recap, for this fight, Rem is good for this fight. I mean, obviously, because she's featured. Push their HP down at the same time. Good characters for this fight are Rem, Rex, Aerith, any other character that does Quina is good.
Would Edgar be good? Because
Yes,
I'm running
also
Edgar.
good. Just make sure that to kind of keep their HP equal. There's also Core is also a good option as well.
Sounds like a no on the Lawn and Rain. Darn. There goes that idea.
Lawn and Rain should be fine.
Didn't you say after a point your buffs only go off? You only have your buff for 1 turn, or am I
If
wrong?
their FR attack goes off.
Wait,
Oh.
Rem my Rem is only FR only. That should be all right, right?
Yeah, that's what I did as well. Only had Rem FR as well. If you do want to kind of be kind of greedy, you can use both FRs within the one FR phase. If you don't, if you feel like your damage is not as not confident enough damage that you can nuke them, or at least push them to the point where they have this little smidge of HP left and can't clean them up, then save Rem FR one use of it for that point at the very end. But yeah.
Okay.
Fight is not as bad as the first two, first half of the month. It is not that bad. If the fight is bugged, hopefully it's fixed by the time it comes out. But yeah, as of now, just make sure that you push their HP at 59% at the same time. So if you're at 60 and the other one's at 62, just make sure that you push them at the same time. Beyond that, yeah, it's not too bad. So yeah, beyond that,
Sounds good.
Rem BT full kit, I heard good things about it. It's a bunch of good buffs. Rem itself, Rem's kit is still very good. She provides very good auras, turn swapping and whatnot. And yeah, it's not bad having full recast on all of your EX abilities whenever Rem goes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's fast enough to where you'll see her pop up pretty often. But
Indo
not
saying that Noctis would be good for this one too because of the turn manipulation.
yes, it
Which
would be.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
warts.
Just make sure
What about
that.
half Mal? Half Mal?
I
Maybe
mean, she's not as bad as she used to be, but I
gotta
don't
do
know how
some.
she
You would
stacks
have
up
to
to
do
modern
some carrying.
content.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to put her on your back for a little bit.
I mean, at least she's better than when she was used during the Sid Mao days.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, there's that other like event that we have currently going on. Those like kind of like breather like what
Oh
is that like
yeah,
these
Those
reckoning fights,
things.
those
I forgot
random.
about those.
these mission
Yeah.
dungeons.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, JP's running these like specific mission dungeons that have every couple days a Shinryu, a Lufenia, and a Chaos that you have to perfect the stage if you're using certain characters. Like so, basically, it's similar to Crevasse, or Abyss, where you have to use certain crystal colors. It's not going to be as specific as like Crevasse, where you have to use specifically this color, this weapon, this turn, whatever it is. It's just you have to use these two, like at least two of these crystal colors, one of this crystal color, and then beyond that, there's like no HP requirement. Just make sure you don't die, and there's that. The fights are pretty easy, straightforward, and are breather fights. They give you free resources like more Ultima cores, skip tickets, which are very, very useful and a luxury at this point to skip some of these boring grinds because, yeah, I don't trust certain what is this Shinryu co-ops because I got burnt from doing a random one where it took me like half an hour because some of my party members didn't refuse to press FR or BT.
Oh man, that was probably like the Aerith one, right?
I think it was the most recent one. It wasn't. This wasn't on 40 stream or whatever. I just did this by myself, and I was like on the toilet. And yeah, toilet co-ops are not fun.
Yes, the toilet.
Didn't sit well with you.
No, it did not.
It was shittier than our family stream. It was.
It's fine.
Worse than was
I've
it
gotten a
before?
little bit more PG-13. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
fair enough. Okay, fair enough. It was crappier than the stuff in your bowl. There you go.
Yeah. So
I botched my joke. It's fine.
yeah, I think the last thing that to go over is the little small teaser of the preview for the next event.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's no clear character that, like, no previous BT character on there that doesn't already have an FR or FR boards. So Charlotta's the only one that can be ruled out. You have 5 other characters that never have BT before, don't have FR. So the lineup is Kais, Selfie, Shadow, Leo, and Fran. So you have 5 characters that will be that will get a FR and BT, brand new. Who do you predict and who do you want to get the FR BT?
Let's let Zodi go first.
Okay, Zodi,
Oh
go
boy,
first.
I know who
you
he
know
wants.
who I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna say. I had a
Selfie.
poll battle about this character. She's one of the ones I want. You're right. She's my number 2. Kais. I want it to be Kais. I have a sneaking suspicion it's either Selfie or Kais, because why is there 2 launch units on a stage? Now, hey, it could end up being Leo, and that'd be awesome. But they've pretty much narrowed it down with those 2. But everyone could roast me later. Haha, Zodi, you said it'd be Kais and Selfie. We got Fran, and I'd say, cool. I pulled her BT too. But yeah, I really hope it's him because there's also a lot of units that help with. Charlotta's there. She helps with gain. Kais has has a bit of gain up in his kit. I'm not gonna say he has Charlotta levels of gain up, and same with Selfie. I don't remember everything Leo has in his kit besides the delay and the extra HP damage up that he gives, and then what's her name also gives HP damage up on her trap, Fran. But yeah, rambling aside, I really hope it's Kais, but I'm probably wrong.
Alright, 40, who do you want it to be?
Shadow and Leo. Shadow. I want it to be Shadow the most because, dude, we need a ninja with Onion Knight doesn't count. He's not a real ninja. He's only 50% ninja. We need a real ninja with a BT, and if it's freaking Shadow and if it plays his theme song, dude, that's a selling point right there for me. Like I am sold. So that's who I want it to be.
And do you want Interceptor to be the Interceptor voice line to come back if he does?
Yeah, Interceptor. I had no problem with him saying it over and over. I thought it was cool. I don't know why they decided to make him mute.
He always
That
says it
was the
once.
worst change they've done to the game. Besides getting rid of Cecil's little line when he used his HP attack.
Oh yeah.
I miss that. Because I'll still think of that with Paladin Cecil, like he made it, or whatever he says, and he does the slash. I know I'm saying it wrong. I don't know Weep. But, yeah, I miss that. But anyways, Interceptor, hashtag bring back Interceptor.
Yep.
So yeah, my guess. I want Selfie, just because I'm a meta slave.
But imagine Kai's BT. Imagine what it could entail. But yeah, I would want Selfie too, so you're not going to get me arguing about that. All the units on this lineup could have potentially solid BTs.
Yes.
They're all really good characters in their own niche. Yes, Kais is terribly outdated. Yes, Leo's damage isn't anything that's impressive anymore.
And
Yeah.
the fact that
But,
a lot of characters can do his like extra HP damage gimmick at this point.
Yeah, but he was the original. And, yeah, well, he still has... Well, no, Quistis still has him beat if you want to see the best delayer in the game. Yeah, he might have the best natural delay, but she's got the best, delay period, since she ignores delay immunity. But, I mean, heck, even Shadow. Evasion, defense ignore, what else is... A counter when he evades? That's a very solid get.
Okay, so
And I don't even need to say what Fran has, so...
yeah, okay, I'll take that back. Okay, I want Selfie or Fran, because FF12 and Vera class is pretty popular, and also Bunny Girl. Yeah.
I would want her too, because now that I think about it, because I want her to be relevant when Balthier's relevant, because they've never, ever been both on the same, as good as each other in any era as far as I can think of. Like, one's always better than the other during the power creep and, fluctuations of the game. I want to see them both ran on the same team with equal power for once.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was one thing I wanted to kind of backpedal on. Transcendence 15 was one of the few events where the non-feature character got FR boards, finally. So Vaughn got FR boards. I haven't used his FR, like his new FR condition yet, but I saw that it got buffed. So I have to test that out more, and I'll let you guys know if it's good or not, because it's pretty somewhat restrictive, needing that you need to have the action be free, and basically it just means that your FR echo spam is not gonna be as beefy as like other characters' FR echo spam. But yeah, I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Anything else you guys wanna say?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I'm just looking forward to who the next BT is, and hopefully I could get it early, because that's the reason why I couldn't pull for Rem's BT, is because I have very little resources right now, because there were 2 back-to-back banners that kind of nuked my resources quite badly, and it wasn't good. So yeah, that's why I was like, oh man, and then it's funny because I had good luck on like some of the free multis and like ticket multis, and then afterwards it kind of started going downhill again. So I'm like, shoot, okay, I got to be very, very, very careful about who I pull for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
Because if it's
kinda-
Shadow, it's gonna hurt my resources. Because man, I want Shadow.
Yeah, hopefully whoever the new character is next month is actually someone that is more recognizable.
Yeah,
Please make it more recognizable.
for sure.
I want Yuri's dad. I'll just throw that out there publicly, and everyone's gonna say, "Howdy, he's insignificant." No, he isn't. He plays more of a role than Rex in his game. So let that sink in. If you ever see Yuri's dad, remember that. But yeah, I agree though. More recognizable. Make it like, what's his face? Red at this point. Make everyone happy. Do Red 13. Do it square. Nice meme, I know.
But yeah, I guess. Oh wait, no. There's actually one more thing I want to talk about, which was the fact that these new mission dungeons kind of like revisit some of the old fights, and you kind of can get to experience it and like stomp on them with like current meta units.
They did, yeah.
Like
I think it was Reno IW and then Garnet's FR debut with her Echo is what it was.
yeah, I'm going through the latest one with the Lufenia fight and the eyeball. Yeah, the very generic eyeball bosses from the first quote unquote Shinryu. Yeah. But yeah. Don't think there's anything else to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're all good.
Yep. We are all good. I guess we could tell everybody where they could find us.
Yep. Go ahead, Zodi.
You can find me either on my Twitch channel, which I'm eventually gonna go back to streaming again, which is my name, Zodiacal Void. You can also find my YouTube channel, which is active on YouTube at same name, Zodiacal Void, with a space in between Zodiacal and Void. I do upload JP runs when I have the chance. I don't get to do every single one, unfortunately, but I try to do as many as I can with a little more niche strategies. So if you're ever struggling at a fight and you're looking to use a more niche unit, definitely give my videos a watch and see if that might help out.
And you can check out 40 on his channel where he does
Right now.
right now. He uploads his poll videos, does funny shenanigans on his channel, including his other channel that I will include.
My accursed channel that Indo Zodi actually a lot of people already know about that channel. It's the Overlord of Foolishness.
Yeah, where he sometimes stares at the ceiling and says random words and says some people's names, including aimed at the ceiling, while he's sometimes drunk or sleep deprived or both, or yeah. So there's that, and then you can don't worry, I'll include all the links in the description, and then yeah. If you're watching this on my channel, yeah, please, oh yeah, you're watching on my channel, so yeah, you can, come back and subscribe for when I, post this, video, probably in the next, like, couple days, hopefully, if I remember, and I sometimes post my JP runs of the current content if I'm not too busy, but yeah, beyond that, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for next month, and fingers crossed that this next character is someone cool, and not a tutorial character that didn't have 5 minutes of screen time.
We're never gonna let Rex live that.
Or some other random person's dad that no one got mentioned. Or yeah, there's that.
There you go, some random person's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Hopefully, maybe in the next 2 weeks if it's super hyped, or next month. But yeah, see you guys.
For sure.